Hello, welcome to Jet Mathematics. I remain your host, Milton Ebiwari John. Today we'll still be looking at the multiplication of surds. We'll be looking at some more examples. So the very first example we have today is 5 minus root 2 all squared. Quickly we're going to solve this. So we say 5 minus root 2 all squared. This also means 5 minus root 2 times 5 minus root 2. Okay, so that's quite easy. And then you can multiply this. From our last video, this multiplies everything here. So we have 5 times 5, 25. And then 5 times minus root 2 is minus 5 root 2. Then this also multiplies everything here. Minus root 2 times 5 is another minus 5 root 2. And then minus root 2 times minus root 2, that gives us plus root 4. Okay, remember in our last video as well we said that root 2 times root 2 should give us 2. Okay, but that's fine, we'll still get the same result at the end of the day. So this gives me, okay, we can just change this and write 2. Okay, root 2 times root 2 gives us 2. From our last video we have established that. So we collect like terms. We say 25 plus 2, that gives us 27. And then minus 5 root 2 minus 5 root 2, that gives us minus 10 root 2. Okay, pretty easy. So this is just simply expanding binomial term, binomial expression rather. And then remember we said in our video on binomial expansion, we said if you have something like a minus b all squared, same thing as writing a squared plus minus 2ab plus b squared. So you can also apply that here and you also get this same result. Let's quickly see using this binomial expansion. So if this is 5 minus root 2 all squared, we'll have 5 squared minus, these are 2 times 5 times root 2, which are b, and then plus root 2 all square. So when you have this, you certainly get the same result here, which is 25. This times this is 10 minus 10 root 2, then root 2 squared is 2. So when you still add 25 plus 2, that gives you again 27 minus 10 root 2. Okay, so you get the same result if you use your binomial expansion, or you can just expand like this as we have taught in our last video. quickly let's see how we can solve example 2 and also establish some relationship from there. So from example 2 we have that 7 plus 2 root 2, sorry, root 5 rather, multiplies 7 minus 2 root 5. Okay, so this is equal to, so we say this 7 multiplies everything here, so 7 times 7 is 7 squared, and then 7 times minus 2 root 5 is minus 14 root 5. Also, plus 2 root 5 multiplies everything here, so plus 2 root 5 times 7 gives us plus 14 root 5, and then plus 2 root 5 times minus 2 root 5 gives us minus 2 times 2 is 4, and root 5 times root 5, remember, is 5. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. We have established that in our previous video, so you can watch our previous video if you are watching this for the first time to know all of these things and get acquainted with what we are doing. Alright, so from here we have that this is 49, and minus 14 root 5 plus 14 root 5 goes off, is 0, and then here we have minus 20, and this gives us 49 minus 20, that is 29. Okay, alright, that is taken. Now look here, this is very important. This is a surd and this is the conjugate of the surd. When you multiply a surd and its conjugate, the result is a rational number. Okay, when you multiply a surd and its conjugate, the result is a rational number. So I'll quickly establish the product of conjugate surds. So this is we want to from here establish the product of conjugate surd. Remember, the product of a surd and its conjugate gives us a rational number. So let's assume we have a surd a minus or a plus root b. Okay, I want to multiply it by its conjugate. Its conjugate means the same surd, but we are going to change the sign. If it was plus, it becomes minus. If it was minus, it becomes plus. Okay, so we are going to change the sign. So we are multiplying the same surd by its conjugate. So we change from plus now to minus. Okay, very fast. A quick way you can do this is just to say a squared, from our knowledge of difference of 2 squared. From our knowledge of difference of 2 squared, we can simply say this is a squared minus root b squared. So with this we get a squared minus b. So this is a rational number. This is a rational number. All you need to do when you multiply a surd and its conjugate, take the first term, square it, minus take the second term, square it, and then you get your result. So quickly let's apply it to this. So this implies, for example 2, if we have 7 plus 2 root 5 multiplied by its conjugate, 7 minus 2 root 5. That gives us 7 squared. 7 squared, take the first term and take the second term, subtract 2 root 5 all squared. So this gives me 7 squared is 49 minus 2 squared. The square is covering 2 and root 5. 2 squared is 2 times root 5, forgive me. Root 2 squared is 4, and then root 5 squared is 5. Root 5 squared is 5. So that gives us 49 minus 20. And finally we have that the result is 29. So you can either use this way to get your results, or you can simply expand as well and get your result. So while we go further with the topic, we'll be using shorter means to solve problems. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Don't forget to like, to share, and to comment on this video. Bye.